Hey, it's Dr. Karen Can. Welcome to another edition of the Spiritual Medicine Digest. And we are in the throes of January 2021. And I know there's many people, maybe you are one of them, who are thinking, good riddance 2020. Yay, 2021. But I gotta tell you, I don't know if you remember last year, if you were with me last year, people were saying that about 2019. Oh my God, 2019 was such a hard year. And then 2020 came, right? And people had no idea what was coming, or most people didn't. Um, so here's the thing, not that I want you to be, jaded or reserved or non-celebratory of a new year. Not at all. I'm not saying that at all. However, what I am saying is that, you know what? What if you were celebrating every single day? What if every single day was better than yesterday? And the next day and the next day. And yeah, some days are going to be harder than others for sure. So the trajectory doesn't look exactly like, from, up like that, but maybe it's like, it goes up and down. And if we keep expecting and not celebrating or not enjoying our lives until something else happens in the future, when the right president is elected in the US, or the right medication is prescribed, or the right vaccine, or the right med bed is created, or so and so is going to save us. Yeah, that is a wonderful formula for being unhappy. How do I know that? Personal experience. I was always the things will be better when person, and always looking forward to the future, the future, the future. Now, it's not to say that you don't look forward to the future. You absolutely do, and you resonate that in the present moment to create your ideal reality. And that was the whole 2020 vision, right? 2020 vision was about, can you resonate the frequency of your ideal vision as often as you can and be in that frequency. And the cool thing is you can just be in the frequency of stillness, having that imagination in your mind, and oftentimes that is enough. So without further ado, I want to share with you the theme. When I was asking Source, what is the theme for this year, 2021? It was the theme of harmony. Now, that happens to be what I call my guru word. Wellness Leadership Academy, we each distill down a specific word for the essence that we are. And so harmony is my guru word. And so I was actually quite pleased that harmony was the theme for this year. And it may not seem like, wow, how's that going to happen, right? Because it seems like there's a lot of non-harmonious or disharmonious energies around. But when I asked Source further, like, how can I explain this? Like, what does this actually mean on a practical level? I did get some pretty neat advice or guidance. So I want to share that with you today. So the harmony is around harmony through choice. Here's the thing. If we can be harmonious in ourselves, within ourselves, in our deeper beingness, then that is the prerequisite for, say that 3 times fast, a prerequisite for being harmonious in the outside world. So we have to stop waiting for things to be peaceful on the outside. No. That's not how it works. You have to be peaceful on the inside first. That saying, let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Well, that's actually true. On a quantum level, on an energetic level, on a spiritual level, it is absolutely true. So the same thing with harmony. And that could be harmony within our physical body or being, harmony within our energetic being, our mental being, our emotional being, our dimensional being, whatever else is there, harmony in our relationships with ourselves, the earth, the planet, the solar system, other people, light beings, entities, aliens, whatever it is, right? So this harmony is the theme for 2021. Now, how does choice come into that? Okay, because remember, we have to start with ourselves. So I'm going to share with you a little slide so you can see this. So there are 3 ways in which this harmony through choice happens for us in 2021. Now, the first way I want to talk about is through your attention. What do you choose to pay attention to? Do you choose to pay attention to negative news, or inflammatory videos, or gossiping neighbors, or, there's a lot of people addicted to a high, and that high is drama. That high is, something bad happening. That high is ups and downs in their emotions, you know? And I would say, hey, let's change that. If you're into harmony like I am, let's change that. What do you choose to put your attention on now, going forward? You know? So good news doesn't sell, unfortunately. So that's why negative news is so popular. But whose fault is it, right? So, oh, it's mass media and all the people and corporations and blah 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 and the elite that pay money and all this fake news. You know what? Who's paying attention to it? If nobody paid attention to it, would they have any power? The answer is no. So now it's not to say that I won't read an article here or there, but the thing is, I'm in stillness when I choose to do that, to get certain pieces of information, to see how things are being perceived, or more actually how the mass media wants the masses to perceive. So then I know what I'm dealing with, right? So that's my choice. If I do choose to do mainstream news or something like that, I'll feel the energy around it. I'll feel the pull or the tug that manipulative tug that they're using on the masses, and then I'll go, that's how you do. Okay, got it. So then we can counteract that in a way by being harmonious and peaceful in ourselves, and then know that stuff happens and people are going to be manipulated, and we're not perfect, right? So sometimes there will be a manipulation. Sometimes I'll go on Amazon and go, I just want to buy something. You know what I mean? So it happens to the best of us. But the thing is, can we be a little bit more disciplined in what we choose to pay attention to? So I just ask yourself that. You don't have to tell me, okay? But ask yourself this, okay? Name 10 pieces of good news in the last week that you've heard, right? And most people will be like, let me do a search, right? And when they do a search, they're like, wow, this is really hard. But the thing is, does it happen? Absolutely it happens. But it's not on mainstream media, and it's even hard to find on Google, possibly, or DuckDuckGo in my case, right? So we do need to pay attention to those things that feel good, those things that resonate with us, and those celebrations of us, evolving to a higher level. And those celebrations are really, really important. So that's number one, is that attention piece. What do we choose to focus our attention to? Because here's the saying, right? Wherever your attention goes, energy flows and results show. So if your attention is always on politics or something that doesn't make you feel good, I'm assuming that, maybe it does, but I don't know. But most people, it doesn't make them feel good. So if your attention is on politics, or if your attention's on Antifa, your attention's on racism or whatever it is, okay, in the guise of it being, better for you, whatever, if you don't feel good, then energy is going towards more of that. You're not actually helping the world that way. You're actually potentially harming the world because you are not solidly grounded in you, in that joy, in that peace, in that love. And that stillness can give that to you, or there's that avenue in that way. So remember, where your attention goes, energy flows and results show. So be very mindful of where you put your attention. Now, second thing is perception. So choose the perception. So you see, for example, I don't know, a bunch of people rioting or whatever, right? It happens across your Facebook feed or whatever. You're not particularly looking for it, okay? Not that it happened to me, but it could, right? So then you'd be like, okay, so now that I've seen it, how do I choose to perceive this? So you have a choice. You can go down the road of how everybody else perceives it, or you can have your own sovereignty in how you choose to perceive something. One of the things that I talk about in my Sensitivities or Superpower book is that bit of choice is like, what if everything happened was for your highest and greatest good? How would that change your perception of your life or whatever happened? So say there's a riot on Capitol Hill. Okay, maybe it's labeled riot, maybe it's a friendly conversation. I don't know okay, whatever it is. Okay, I wasn't there, so I can't say. But what if you chose to perceive that as somehow this is going to be for highest and greatest good? I'm just not sure how, but I trust that it is. We're going to see how that plays out, right? Instead of going into an automatic emotional reaction, your reactivity is what is going to hamper this harmony. Wow, hamper the harmony that is the theme for this year. So again, be mindful of how you choose to perceive something. I choose to perceive, even though it's difficult in certain situations, like if somebody's mad at me or angry at me or whatever, it's hard, it's not easy to go, okay, it's all good, in that moment, right? But I can say, okay, somehow this is for my highest and greatest good, and we're going to grow from this. And I trust that we'll figure it out, or I'll figure it out, or I will get guidance on it, even though it's really uncomfortable in this moment. So that kind of perception I have found extremely helpful for me. Maybe you want to try it on and see if it works for you. Last but not least, harmony through choice is choice in action, right? So it's like, how do you proceed in your actions? Because they say actions speak louder than words. So one can be very, very critical, for example, of what's going on in the world or how you like things to be, and it's not. However, what are you doing every single day towards peace, towards inner harmony, towards inner abundance and outer abundance, towards being wealthy and always possible, including your health? So it's one thing to complain about other people, right? But if you've chosen to, continue cigarette smoking or, clandestinely, drinking alcohol to excess or whatever, and blaming the outside world for how you feel, then you're really not helping us. So we don't have to be harsh on ourselves. I'm not saying that, right? Be self-compassionate, but see if you can take actions that are in alignment with that harmony, alignment with those other, choices of attention and perception. So that action might be something very simple, like, reading a spiritual book that makes you feel good, or reading poetry, or doing some art, or, going skating, like for me, or meeting with a friend, or having a beautiful meal with someone, or, you know what I mean? So there's no small action that's positive that really is small. In other words, these small actions do add up. You don't have to be the one that, goes and contributes millions of dollars to a particular positive cause, although I'm sure you'd love to, just like I would. You don't have to be the one that travels wherever to do freedom rallies or things like that, right? There are people that are resonating with that, and that's what they want to do. That's awesome. We definitely need those people are willing to do that. But at the same time, you in yourself, whatever you're doing, whatever action you choose, that could be kindness to yourself, or loving your children or your pet, or speaking more softly, whatever it is, that is powerful in and of itself. And if there's millions of us doing those little actions, boy, this world harmony will really manifest and grow very, very quickly. So some announcements for this week. Number one is that it's beginning of the year. That means it's telesummit season. I'm so excited. The first one coming up is Elevated Existence with my friend Tammy Mastroberte. And her number one international bestseller. We talked to her on my radio show last year, and so I'm back on her telesummit, and definitely highly recommend that you check it out. There's always some wonderful guests and some wonderful programs that you can learn and grow and get into this harmony, right? So I'll put the link near this video. The pretty link for this is KarenCan.com/EE, standing for Elevated Existence, EE 2021. And then you can register for the summit. It's free to listen in, so highly recommend it. The second thing I want to announce this week is my guest for Monday's Light Warrior radio show at 12 noon Eastern is Christine Koch. She is actually a PT and an expert in the iliacus muscle. And what's really interesting is that I didn't really pay too much attention to the iliacus muscle, but she invented this thing called the hip hook. And I just love this thing, okay? It looks kind of strange, but it reaches that iliacus muscle, and boy, it feels like such release of energy when I release that iliacus muscle. And we're going to be talking about how that connects with the mind. So how your muscles, your hips, your structure connects with your mind, the stress, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have not paid much attention to your iliacus, you definitely want to listen to this radio show. So I will post the link near this video, and 12 noon Eastern Monday we'll be meeting in. And feel free to call in if you have any back, knee, pelvic, hip trouble at all. She is an expert in this area, so you might as well pick her brain while you're live on the radio show with me. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited to have another year with you in my tribe. There's lots of wonderful things happening this year. And remember, harmony through choice. Until next time, lots of love. Bye for now.